Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Evening Happy Hour with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. And each and every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I come to you live with a free dog training Q&A session where all your questions could be answered. Good evening, Joyce. Regarding your dogs, unwanted behaviors, anything you guys want to talk about with that, anything's on the table, guys. We try to help you out as best as we can. And with that being said, just a friendly reminder: every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, I'm going to be here live and in living color. Saturdays, starting last Saturday, I will be doing every other Saturday morning at 11 o'clock in the meantime. So this Saturday there won't be a live. The following Saturday will be. I will be posting it out on my Facebook pages, Remember Me Rescues Facebook pages, with reminders saying, "Hey guys, I'm going live. Whatever not next Saturday, the Saturday after is." Um, when I send out those events, there's a little thing on the bottom. Click reminder. It'll send you a reminder that I'm going live, so you guys don't miss an episode. With that being said, I got a really interesting. Oh, and the other thing, guys, like Joyce did, if you're here watching now live later on in the replay, shoot a comment in. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. And of course, the more questions I get, the more jacked up I'm going to be. But today I'm going to focus on an issue that I think is going to help so many people. I got a very interesting Facebook message from somebody who's involved in a rescue, and everybody knows I have a passion for helping out the rescue groups and the fosters out there. I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know if you guys can see this, but you get to see the ring light. But it's a kind of a long thing, so I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. But basically, what I'm being told is there is a dog, Frankie, who is approximately 2 years old, 80-pound lab boxer mix. He was placed in foster about 7-8 months ago from Texas. He's up on Long Island, I believe, or New York area. And he has some issues. Basically, it seems like he was a feral dog based on the text, the message that I got. And he really bonds with his people, or bonds to one person in a house and decides this is the person I need to protect. And it's caused some issues with some of the fosters where it protects the husband, doesn't necessarily like the wife. He protects the wife, doesn't necessarily like the husband, and so on and so forth. And it's very hard having people coming into the house. And the people that are now fostering, which is great, are having some concerns with some of these issues that Good morning, Cindy. Share, my brother just adopted a large breed pup down 6 months sweet, but needs discipline. I can't wait to share with this and with him. Please, people, thank you, Cindy. Share. This information's free, guys. All I ask in return is to share it, so we can live up to my dream of helping one dog and one family at a time. So getting back to Frankie here, he's with a couple who have some young grandchildren, and there's a concern they want a normal family life. They want to have people over. They want to have their grandkids over. They want to have the family come over and sleepovers and all that good stuff that we want in our lives. So, the whole message that I got, it's a lot of back history on this poor guy Frankie. When I work with the rescue dogs, guys, the hardest things as humans, I can tell you to do, and it's the hardest thing you're going to have to do, is one, please stop living in their past. Don't worry about their past. I'm going to use a case down here that I worked with that's very similar to Frankie. I worked with a dog named Toby who was a feral dog for about a year and a half. We guessed, lived on the streets, and really had a hard time acclimating to a home environment. And one of the first things I had to do with the people is say, stop feeling bad for them. And I know it's hard because this poor dog, oh my God, lived on the streets and all this. And I understand it. I'm human. I mean, it breaks my heart when I see that. But when I'm working with the dogs, I shut that out. I block out that noise. It's noise in my head. I don't deal with the noise. And what I do is I choose to look at what are we giving this dog today? Yes, you were on the street yesterday, but today I'm giving you this palace. It's a different energy. It's a better mindset. The dog will understand that energy. if we sit there and we feel sorry for them, oh my God, it's such a weak energy. These dogs that no clue are reading the energy and saying, there's nobody here that's going to help me. I need to do this. Yes, and the dog may bond with a specific individual in the house, and it does happen more often than you would like to think. And then, Frankie may bond with the wife, and he's acclimating to the husband. The first thing I tell people when you deal with these rescue dogs, because again, we don't really care about that past so much, is never ever rush the process. You know, if I bring a dog into my home, that dog is going to bond with me most likely very quickly over the rest of my family members, because my energy is there. I am always calm. I am always confident that they bond with me. What I do is I don't allow the rest of my family to rush the process to make this dog their BFF. The dog will come around. Um, they need absolutely, Joyce. They need a calm, confident pack leader. Um, and so the dog would bond with me, and what I would do is slow the whole process down. Don't try to make BFF. Let the dog come to you for affection, and that doesn't mean you go pet it. Just let it come hang out with you. I worked with a dog not too long ago down here that had stranger danger up the yin yang, and I just sat there, and eventually he did all his nonsense, and he came over and he started sniffing my feet. My legs were crossed. He started sniffing the bottom of my feet and worked his way up a little bit. Then he walked away, and I was like, "Good boy." And you see, it was like, "What?" And it took him a couple minutes, but eventually he came back over to me, and I was able to start petting him. Now, here's the caveat: people have got to stop putting their hands over a dog's head to pet him. Pet him under the chin. Pet him here. Let them raise their chin. It builds their confidence. When you come over their head, they shrink down. They're like, oh my Lord, I know I'm too close to my camera today. But they shrink down and they kind of like, oh, well, what's going on? I'm not sure about. So if you pet them underneath the chin, they raise their head. Now, the other thing I always suggest, they need to see that you mean no harm, right? And that's the calm, confident energy that I talk about. Those 4 C's of dog training: calm, confidence, consistency to get control. If you force issues, they're gonna think you're harming them. If you don't listen to what they're saying, they're gonna take you as a threat, and that's the last thing you want. So when I work with these dogs, and Toby was a great example. Toby wasn't thrilled with me in the beginning. Actually, even though in the last session he wasn't overly thrilled, but he's coexisting much better in our environment with the people that he's with. He had a little setback. We worked him through it, and it's fine. One of the things I tell you, dogs do give warnings. So if you go to pet a dog over the top of the head and you see the dog shrinking, stop. The dog's telling you, hey, listen, I'm not comfortable with this. Stop. Listen to what he's saying or she's saying. Stop the process at that point. Take the deep breath. Okay, let's see. He didn't like this over the top of the head. Let's try this. And you'll see the dog will respond much nicer. And just because the dog comes over to you while they're in that sniffing you stage isn't an invitation to pet them. It's not. It's them trying to figure out, hey, are you okay? Are you cool? Do I like your smell? Do you smell like you may harm me? Or when I come near you, do you tense up? This is what they're trying to sense. They're trying to gauge everything around them. And if they use their nose, it's the best thing in the world because that settles them quicker. We know this. The other thing, if you have a dog that does get into this guarding position or stance, and you hear that little guttural growl, respect it. Growling doesn't mean they're aggressive. It doesn't mean anything. It's a form of communication, guys. Get that out of your head. But it's a warning that if you don't stop, something is going to happen. And why does it happen? It's because we don't listen to them. When I deal with these dogs that do that, I don't say a word. I don't say no. I don't posture. No. Okay. Whoa. Let me back it up a little bit. Let me respect what you're telling me. Let me give you your space for a second. That will change the dog's mindset. Oh, listen, I told you I'm not comfortable with it, and you backed away. Thank you. and it relaxes the dog. So the growling is a good thing sometimes. We need to know how to respond to the growl. Most men, "Roar, what are you growling?" We're idiots. Most women do the opposite, and they do that nurturing. Oh, my baby, I love you. I just want to be your friend. No, stop this nonsense. Stop it. Dog growls. Listen to what it's saying. Back away. Respect its personal space because it's telling you I'm not comfortable. Let's regroup it. Let them come to you. And if you see at any point you get to the petting point, you're doing the right thing, and the dog all of a sudden the dog's okay, hey, okay, we did good. Let's back it off a little bit. The other thing I will tell you, if you are nervous with a dog that growls or guards a specific person in a home, like in the messages that I got from this person, what the of course the people are doing right now is, and the dog is comfortable with, which is great, is when they have people come over, they have a 2 bedroom house, they put in the dog in one bedroom with his toys and food and treats and water and whatever. That's good. That's a band-aid. So it's a band-aid fix. We don't have to worry about dogs in another room. But we're not addressing the issue. The issue is we want to coexist in our home with other people. So here's what I would tell everybody to do that has this dog they're not sure about, and I think everybody should do this with every single dog on the face of the earth, is muzzle condition the dog. Muzzle conditioning is not for the dog. Muzzles are for the human. And that sounds weird, and I know it sounds weird. The reason I say muzzles are for the human is if, in this case, this couple that has a family with young grandchildren that want to come over, they're worried about the dog may bite or hurt one of the grandkids or the family members or whatever. By putting a muzzle on, they don't worry about the bite. They relax. They become calmer because they don't have to think about the bite. And if they don't have to think about the bite, their energy changes. So I would always suggest when I'm dealing with a dog like that I got today is one, muzzle condition the dog. Get a Baskerville style muzzle. It's a basket muzzle. Um, I have a rescue that will do that to my other 2 dogs. The Sheltie could care less, but the other dogs will make her stand down. My words to her are, "Excuse me, it works," and now she does it less and less, one day at a time. Absolutely. But the key is, and I love what you said here, Joyce, is the other 2 dogs will put her in her place. They won't have a whole conversation with her about this. They'll just, with their energy, they will control the situation. But again, muzzle conditioning is a good thing. Baskerville style muzzles. Don't get those nylon muzzles that they don't can't don't get those. Get a Baskerville muzzle. They fit. They can pant, which is important because that's how they sweat, and it also can relax them. You can feed treats through the bottom of the muzzle. I wish I would have brought one up before I started this so I could show you guys what it looks like. Um, they can drink water. You can give them food through the basket. And I would suggest if you're going to muzzle condition a dog, always make it fun and give them good high value treats. Again, chicken, cheese, peanut butter, whatever's really good to the dog. Something of high value that they're going to enjoy and they're going to say, hey, it's worth it. And muzzle conditioning is an art form. Uh, Maybe within the next week or two, I'll do a basic video on muzzle conditioning with a muzzle in my hand, showing you the technique. I don't have a dog I can work with to muzzle condition it right now. So, but we can use our imagination because I think muzzle conditioning will go a long way to help these people. If we muzzle condition the dog now, in a case like this where the dog is comfortable with one individual, that one individual needs to do the muzzle conditioning. And if they have the stranger danger where people coming into the house, it's not put the muzzle on the dog and then people come right in the house. It's not that. And in the case where the dog is a little bit more comfortable with the wife than the husband, she should be working on him one on one with the husband, not in the same room, working on the muzzle around her, let him coexist with her and the muzzle. So he becomes comfortable with the person he's comfortable with his muzzle on. Then I would introduce the husband. And after we get a couple of good week or two of him being comfortable with the muzzle on, with mom and dad, for lack of better terms, I would have the muzzle on for a good hour and then invite somebody over. And when you do muzzle conditioning, guys, and I'll go into this in depth in my video, it's not put the muzzle on, strap it on, leave it on for 8 hours. No, you work up to how long you're going to keep it on there. Um, and you always give treats when you put it on them, and you give them treats when you take it off, because you want them to understand if they try to take it off, that's no no. But if I take it off, that's good. So you use the muzzle, and like I said, the muzzle, yes, no, most dogs aren't going to like the muzzle. They're going to try to pour it off, and you have to disagree with it. And I understand all that. But the muzzle will automatically change the energy in the house when people come over. Guys, in the comments, please, this is so important to me. Put it in the comments. Let me know if this is making sense. Because if it's not, I need to come out with a better way of saying it so we can make sure we can help these rescues, these foster people. Fosters do a phenomenal job. I love what fosters do. Foster's main function in my world is to prepare this dog for success on the other. So for their next life. Wendy, thank you for joining us. Wendy is Frankie's foster. I didn't want to say your name until you popped up here. This is terrific. Thank you for doing this. Frankie doesn't like the muzzle because it was and when dogs don't like the muzzle, it most likely introduced wrong. So I'm going to go into a little bit of it tonight. What is the best way to let someone come in the home who Frankie doesn't know? I would definitely start working on muzzle conditioning, and we'll talk about how to get people into the home also. We're going to talk about that in a safe, controlled manner. Everything has to be safe, controlled. The one thing I'm going to ask you, Wendy, and your husband is you need to learn, you have to have that trust in Frankie to do what you ask him to do. And that comes from the 4 C's of dog training, which is the calm, confidence, consistency, for control that you want. To recondition him for the muzzle, I have worked with dogs that do not like the muzzle. And I got news for you, 95% of dogs don't like muzzles. It sucks. I wouldn't want it either. But I know when I'm using this tool, I know it's the best thing. So my energy is so positive that this is the best thing in the world. They tend to accept it quicker. How I do this is I bring out the Baskerville muzzle, I'll hold it in my hand. I usually put a treat in the palm of my hand, and I just put it on. I let them smell the treat, and what I do is I just guide. Well, actually, no. Let me back it up. I have the muzzle in my hand. I'm cupping it. It's hard to do this on camera. Um, and the dog, I'll bring the dog's nose to the basket, and as soon as their nose gets close to it, good. And then I'll try to get my fingers a little close into the basket a little more. Good. And every time they get a little closer, and then eventually I'm going to put the treat in the palm of my hand. They have to go in and grab it. I'm not putting the muzzle on them. I'm not, they take it. Good. I take it off. Then what I'll do is I'll hold it a little longer. So I may cup my hand so they can't necessarily get the treat. So they have to keep their nose in that muzzle a little bit longer. Good. And then I open up my hand so they can get the treat. They get the treat. I take the muzzle off. Praise, praise, praise. Rinse and repeat. And I work up to duration. Now, I've done this with some dogs where it's taken me, I don't know, 50 to 100 times of just doing that process before I even take the strap and put it over there and not even clip it. Every dog's an individual. The thing is that we have to have the patience, the calm confidence to do this. They will learn to accept the muzzle. Then, once I get past the 10-second where I can hold the dog's face, the dog's nose is in there for 10 seconds, I take the muzzle off, I praise, and I give them a treat for me taking it off. And eventually I work actually a command into it where I'll put the treat in my hand. In this case, Frankie, muzzle. Good muzzle. And then treat. And then treat when I take it off after I get up to some sort of duration. And this way they learn. And this way, when they try to take it off, I'm like, no, you're not allowed to take it off yourself. I have to take it off for you. And it's so worth it. And knowing in the long run, it's not going to hurt them. It's not going to do anything. And it's going to make you relax in the home. Now, here's the thing. up until we get the muzzle conditioning done. How do we get people into the home? One, people just should not be walking into your home from this day forward. I'm talking about family members that probably just might walk right into your home without knocking or anything. Those days are over for the short term. Um, Everything should be planned. And I would start this with you and your husband before I invite strangers over. I would have your husband go outside. You have Frankie on a leash. He knocks on the door, rings the doorbell. Frankie's going to change from a normal calm dog to whoop, somebody's here. You cannot open the door if he's in any state of mind but calm. If he's not calm, don't open the door. If he may be excited in the beginning, he may be like nervous. Who the hell's here? You don't want to reinforce it by saying it's okay. It's only no. Don't say a word. Just if he's acting in any other manner but calm, you have him on a leash. You're going to go nope. Sit. Give him something else to do. If he is food motivated, use treats to reward him for every behavior. This is what I did with this feral dog, Toby. We used more treats than probably I used in 5 years for this one training session, but it was worth it to him and to me and to them. Um, then, when you see him come, you can start the process of trying to open up the door. If at any point he changes from that calm, relaxed dog to nervous, insecure, excited, whatever it may be, stop the process, start over. You cannot open the door. You can't even turn the doorknob if he's in any other state of mind but calm. Um, and you're going to reward every time you see his mind go calm. Good. If he's food motivated, high value food, guys. I'm not talking about milk bones when I say treats. I'm talking about chicken, you know, cheese, peanut butter, whatever's a high value. Low sodium hot dogs, filet mignon, I don't care. Um, because you want him to understand that calm state of mind is what you want. We don't like this insecure state of mind because that's what everything I read in the text that or the message that Susan sent me is everything sounds fear based. One, you never rush fear, but two, you need to tell them you don't need to be in this state of mind. You will get so much more when you're in a calm state of mind. And if you do this enough and you have the right energy, I'm going to put that board up there because it's so important to me. Um, it's not about the words speaking to him. It's more about, and it is about the energy you're using to communicate to Frankie. If I was there, I'd walk in and probably the first thing I would do is say, hand me the leash so my energy overtakes yours. Um, and then the calmer you are, the 4 C's of dog training, I can't stress them enough. Calm, confidence, consistency to get control. It works. Guys, I've used those 4 C's on overly excited dogs, very insecure dogs, fearful dogs, and aggressive dogs. It works. You have to believe in the system. And the calmer you are when, in this case, we're using your husband, and your husband has to act like a guest when he gets to the point where he comes in the house. Now, he may be standing outside for an hour. I have no idea. It's as long as it takes to get Frankie to stay in a calm state of mind so he can walk in. Now, when you do invite him in as if he's a guest, it's a short leash. He's right next to you. Frankie's right next to you, not your husband on the leash, Frankie. And your husband should walk right past, no look, no touch, no talk. As far as conversation with the dog, should be looking at the dog, touching the dog, or talking to the dog, period. He could say hello to you as if he's a guest. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? And walk right past, ignoring the dog completely, and let short leash. So if Frankie makes a mistake and goes for a lunge or something, you have control. Um, Everything has to be in a controlled environment. And he goes and sits down. If Frankie is calm, you can bring Frankie over to him. And if Frankie stays calm, he can start the petting process underneath the chin, never above the head. I said that earlier. And then if Frankie shows he's not comfortable, stop the process. Wait till Frankie calms down. His state of mind is unsure, insecure, scared, whatever we want to call it. So we need to start learning how to teach him to be calm. And that's by doing these exercises. And if your kids come over or the grandkids come over, he should be on a leash. I mean, I prefer the muzzle conditioning, but that's going to take some time. He should be on a leash. He should not be in another room because if he by putting him in another room, he's not learning to coexist with people in the house. This is a huge undertaking. This is the beauty about fosters, and people don't appreciate the fosters enough because they do take on these huge undertakings, and it does disrupt their lives sometimes. Um, but if we start this day one with structure, with calm, confident structure, these dogs follow, and Frankie will follow. I do believe that you should muzzle condition them. I do believe that you need to rewire his brain a little bit, and that's everything that you do moving forward with him has to come from calm, confident energy in you. And if he makes a mistake, if he gives that growl, don't have a conversation with him. You don't just if he growls when your husband walks close, your husband needs to stop and say, "Okay, you're not comfortable. Let me back up. Let me show you that you can trust me. That I'm not going to force you to do something." Remember, I don't expect dogs to be everybody's BFFs. It's like right now I'm introducing Zoe and Oakley, a new cat kitten we got. And in the beginning, Oakley wasn't happy with Zoe. She was hissing, nothing. And we let it go. Today they were cuddling. Why? Because we didn't rush the process. When Oakley hissed, he wasn't being an aggressive cat. He was a scared cat. So instead of forcing them to become BFFs, we're letting them figure this out on their own. And 9 times out of 10, when we respect what they're saying, we get what we want. So the growl is a good thing. Growling is always a good thing if we know what to do. My problem with dogs growl is again, we yell at them, we scream at them, we tell them who the hell they think they are, or we think we know better. We're still gonna go pet you, and the dog's like, "Screw you," and that's when the biting happens. And I never want to bite. I tell people all the time, I've been doing this close to hell, almost 47 years now. Part time for the last 10 and a half years. Full time, this is my livelihood. And my claim to fame is I can count on one hand the number of times I've been bit. Why? Because I understand when the dog is going to do it. I understand what they're saying to me, and I respect what they're saying to me. These dogs that have unfortunate pasts, the first thing I tell everybody is forget about their past. Don't live in their past. If you're constantly thinking about, in this case, Frankie's past, you're forcing him to live in his past. We need to stop that. Look at what you're giving him today. The palaces that we're opening our homes up to these dogs. Why am I worried about what happened yesterday? I can't fix a damn thing that happened to these dogs yesterday. I wasn't there. Every single dog. I got dogs I'm going to work with this week. The first time I'm seeing them, as far as I'm concerned, they're the best dogs in the world when I walk into that house. No matter what the owners have told me on the phone, I'm going to give them the opportunity to show me who they truly are. But I'm going to do it with calm confidence, and I'm not going to worry about their past. Yes, they told me the stories. I can care less. I can't fix their past. If I live in their past, they live in their past. If I worry about their past, I keep them in their past. What I do is look for the future. I'm going to guide them today with calm, confident, pack leader energy. And that 99.9% of the dogs follow. Guys, again, please put in the comments. Let me know if this makes sense because it works. And I know it works. But it comes from you first. So with Frankie, if I was to meet him tomorrow, I wouldn't care about his past. I wouldn't care that you told me if he bit somebody that morning because he ain't going to bite me. We do things safely. Put him on a leash. Can't bite me if he's on a leash. I would definitely suggest muzzle conditioning. I know it's not an easy process, but it's a process so well worth it. And if you do it right, he will accept it. And I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put a muzzle on a dog that's not in a calm state of mind. So if I'm going to muzzle condition a dog, I'm going to wait, even if I'm there. Uh, Jennifer, thank you. This was the best advice you give me about my abused Roddy. Stop making up for the past and concentrate on the future. Absolutely, Janet, Jennifer. Um, absolutely. Stop living in the past. Whoa, my chair thing. I'm not. I hate when it does that. Stop living in the past. It's the same thing, as humans, I wish we can do. Stop living in our past. We can't fix our past. We can learn from it and move forward. Live in the moment with your dog. That's what they're asking you to do. Live in the moment. And the moment with a dog like Frankie, or any other abused dog, living in the moment is showing them calm, confident pack leadership. And we're going to move them forward for a better future. But I don't worry about tomorrow either because I can't control it. What can I control? We can control right now. And that's what your dog's looking for you. Frankie has progressed and is finally letting my husband walk and pet him. It makes sense. It's my daughter and son-in-law's grandkids. Absolutely. And don't be afraid. Be cautious. There's a huge difference. Being afraid is if they're in the house, that Frankie will never. But they have to also trust you. And this is the hardest part, guys. You our family knows the dog's history. So they're going to come into the house. And it's no different, guys. Even when I work with some of these dogs, most of the dogs that have these bad histories, my energy has to be so much stronger than my customer's energy, so I can help their dog. But that takes time and it takes patience. I've been doing this enough years. I know how to channel that energy, but you will get it. Also, Wendy, the big thing I would suggest is also do a lot of structured walking. Um, I have my YouTube channel up here, guys, in the upper, I think it's the left-hand corner of your screen, the QR code. If you scan that QR code with your phone or your iPad, that will take you to my YouTube channel, where I'm going to post the muzzle conditioning. I'm also going to do some other videos coming up shortly. I just got to figure out cameras and stuff. Muzzle conditioning I'm going to get done because I can do it with my phone. I think I can do the whole thing on my phone. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a playlist there, how to leash train my dog in 5 easy steps. That playlist is it's called How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps, but it's really about mastering the walk back to basic style. The walk that I designed is about structure and leadership. Structure and leadership is so important to these dogs, especially in cases like the Frankie. If you can learn to master the walk and give them structure during the walk, it's not about sniffing the ground. It's not about a lot of things. It's about structure, the walk that I set up. The reason I set up the structure of the walk this way is because that walk is about leadership and bonding. Jennifer says, mastering the walk changed my relationship with Braden. Yeah, it was huge. And when we walk our dogs, I always tell people, walking a dog is a lot of freaking work. Walking with my dog is fun and enjoyable. It's my Zen time personally. And that's with any of my customers' dogs too. So when you do a structured walk, you're guiding them on a journey. And that builds their confidence in you as a handle, you as a calm, confident pack leader. You're controlling the walk. I always joke with people, when you're doing the structure part of the walk, you should be able to make left-hand turns, right-hand turns, figure eights, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. Your dog should just follow you and be happy to follow you. Yeah. And I'm going to fall back in my chair again. But that shows confident leadership. Part of mastering the walk and the structure part of the walk is when you're walking, Frankie or Braden in this case, or whatever it may be, it's not about people coming over and petting my dog. Stay the hell away from me. I always kept it as Braden's walk. It was so wrong. He needed your structure. They all need it. Braden's a goofball. I love him. He's a great Roddy. He was misunderstood when I first met you guys, Jennifer. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was just misunderstood. People weren't listening to what he was saying. Dogs need structure. Dogs need leadership. Oh wait, Our kids need structure and leadership, guys. It's the same thing. How do we get our kids to do things for us? We condition them. That's what I'm saying to do with these dogs. Condition them to want to do what we ask them to do. Never force them. Never deal with a scared dog. Never force a scared dog to do something. Guide them through the journey. The walk should be a journey. The structured part of the walk should be. I'm I, right now. I live in South Carolina, and I'm going to take a trip to Hilton Head. It's 3.5 hours. Well, my goal when I take that trip, I'm going straight to Hilton Head. I'm not stopping. I'm on a journey. I'm not stopping at every scenic rest area. I'm not stopping to smell the roses on this journey. We're going. So, short leash, relax, go for a journey with your dogs, and don't stop at every single rest area, which is them smelling everything. That shows them you're in charge. Yes, you can give them a point to smell pee and poop. Yes, that's why I said watch those videos. Master episode one before. It's 5 parts. I broke a walk down to 5 parts. People look at me like I'm nuts because you master each individual step of the walk, and guess what? Your dog wants to follow you the rest of their lives. You do it with calm confidence. I worked with a dog, and I was trying to show somebody how much they appreciate not talking to them so much. So happy go structure eventually led to mutual, joyful, non-leash reactive walks. Absolutely. Thank you. I love hearing the feedback. Thank you, Jennifer. Um, I was working with this dog who was just a basic. He's done so great. We drove from New York to Indiana, a 12-hour trip. He did great. Phenomenal. Play on that. Build his confidence, but give him structure. And it's okay to discipline an unwanted behavior as long as your discipline doesn't hurt, scare, or intimidate your dog. When I say discipline, and I talk about doing that leash correction, if the dog is acting wrong at the door, it's not to bam and snap his neck. No, no, whoa, what was that? Hey, no, I don't like that behavior. It's my way to unlock the brain and get them to focus on me. But I'm also timing my correction with my discipline sound. Nope, whoa, whoa. Every time I hear that sound, nope, that's uncomfortable. Maybe I'll just listen to the sound and I don't have to get the pop. So then I'll try it. Nope, with no these corrections, see what the dog does. Guys, I'm doing this with a kitten right now. Kitten, little kitten, 3 months old. And it's actually understanding what the word no means, which is pretty cool. Um, I'm not using a leash pop on the kitten, but there is a consequence. It may be a tap on his nose every time. No. When he's trying to steal my food, no. So today I was eating and he tried. I said no. He was like, "Oh, okay." And he got it. But again, even with this kid, I'm using calm confidence. Master the walk. People, I can't stress enough. I can't stress enough. Please stop living in your dog's past because you're forcing them to live there. They don't want to live there. That's why we're opening up. Our rescues do a great job and our fosters do a great job. We're taking them away from that world they lived in, but mentally we're keeping them there. People don't want to discipline rescue dogs because they want them to feel love, they want them to feel whatever. Discipline is love. I don't know how else to say it. If done right. If it's done wrong, it sucks. It's abuse. I mean, that's why I said when I say discipline is not going to hurt, scare, or intimidate your dog. If you do it that way, you're abusing your dog. You don't deserve a dog. Um, Discipline done right, it equals love in my world. Same way I discipline my kids. Why? Because I love them and I needed them to understand what they did was wrong and there's consequences when we have an unwanted behavior. I would never beat the crap out of my kids. I don't know, hell, I barely yelled at them. I praise for doing good. Turning those no's into yeses are super, super important, guys. So when Frankie doesn't react to your husband, good, yes, whatever. When Frankie has a good moment, when the grandkids come over, praise. Don't force them to be. If it was my house with my granddaughter and I had a dog like Frankie, Frankie would be tethered to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if my granddaughter was in this house with Frankie. Until I know for 100% fact that Frankie's going to be good. Up until then, he's got to earn that trust. I got to learn. He's got to earn that trust from me to let him go, and it happens. Um, when I worked with Duke, I had to build the trust with him, and there was a long time before. It took us a couple of weeks for me to build the trust with him, and he challenged me once, and I responded accordingly, and he respected it. Knowing when to discipline and when not to. If he just growls, you don't have to. You can say no, but also the process stops. You say no, still calm, confident. You don't go, no. That's yelling in anger. But if he growls, or any dog, listen to what they're saying, because they'll growl for a reason. The growl is the warning. And again, if he's growling, I'm going to use the case of Duke. Duke wasn't allowed on furniture. Duke got on an outdoor chair. I told him to get off, and he growled, and he gave me that death stare. And instead of forcing him to get off the lawn chair because he wasn't supposed to be there, his growl told me, hey, you're approaching me. I'm not comfortable with this. I stopped. I looked at him, and I said, off. And I literally waited him out for about 5 minutes. And then when he finally stopped, and he stopped with a dead stare, I actually stepped off, took a step back, said off again, and he got off, and he came over to me like, hey, did I do good? Did I do good? So I listened to him. I respected what he was telling me. He wasn't comfortable with me approaching him on the chair that way. So I stopped and made him make a better decision. And he got praised, he got hugged, he got kissed, he got treats, he got everything because he did so good. I have been walking him by kids in the park so he can become desensitized to them and their behavior and playground. Beautiful. And that's part of it. That's what I was saying to do with the muzzle. That's what I'm saying, do with your husband at the front door, or a friend or a relative, or, I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. Susan, have Susan knock on the door, keep her outside. Put a note on your door. Frankie's in training. It may take me a while to answer the door. If you don't like it, leave. But yeah, no, desensitize. But why? Listen, watch him when you go by the playground with the kids and they're screaming. See what he's doing. If he's kind of showing you that he's a little nervous about it, stop. Have him sit. Have him group. Have him observe from a distance, a safe distance. And then when you see the mind calm, praise, good boy, give him treats if he's food motivated, like I said, and then continue your walk. Because he's telling you, if he's walking and he hears the kids and he starts getting a little bit tense, and you're going to keep making him walk, you're not listening to him. Does that make sense? Stop. At that point, stop, smell the roses. Let him see what's going on. And when you see the mind's calm or he's bored with this situation, and he looks at you and says, hey, Mom, what's up? Okay, now we can go. You respected him. You let him deal with what was stressing him out. And then we move forward. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just stop. Okay, you're calm, Frankie. Let's go. And you will see this progression. It's time. And if any trainer tells you guys that they can fix this in a day, a week, a month, a year, they're fooling themselves. When you deal with insecurities, I can't tell you how long it'll take. Everything that might trigger it has to be addressed in a calm manner. So again, guys, please put in the comments. Let me know if this makes sense. This will be available for on a replay on my Facebook page. Remember, Rescue's Facebook page, and of course on my YouTube channel. This does get put onto my YouTube channel. I got to do some work on my YouTube channel tomorrow to put it in the right categories. But you can always share this information if you're working with a rescue group and you're a member of the rescue group and you know other fosters that may get some information. Share the video. Tell them to join my Facebook page. Join my lives. Join me. Remember, every Tuesday night I'm here. It's a free service. All I ask you to do is share it with your friends and fellow dog lovers around the country and around the world. Saturdays, I did this Saturday, next Saturday I'm not doing. The following Saturday it'll be every other Saturday for the summer. It may go down to once a month. I'm not sure yet, depending on how many activities are going on around here, because I do need to promote back to basics a lot down here in the South. I will be up in New York. I'm trying to make some plans to come back up there in July and then again in November. So July is going to be a short one. I'm also going to be introducing a new service to people, which will be posted on Facebook, that may help you folks who have dogs that you can't go on vacation. Maybe have me come up, stay at your house while you're on vacation so I can train your dogs and you can go relax and have a vacation. These are all things I'm working on to try to help us. Guys, I know I hit a lot of passionate points tonight. Um, I hope this information helps. Wendy, do me a favor. I'm going to actually change my graphic for a second. I don't know if you're, I'm going to change the QR code, guys, to my Back to Basics Facebook page. So if you scan that, that will take you directly to my Facebook page. Please like or follow that. What I'm also going to put up here is my contact information. This is the best way to get in touch with me. I know I have to get in touch with Phyllis. She reached out to me. I'm going to be doing a live training session. I forgot what night it is, but I'll post it out there. She's going to be a member on here. Wendy, Susan, I don't know if you're watching. If you guys want to do a live, where you're part of it, where you're on camera with me, maybe talking about Frankie or other rescue dogs that may need help. We can always set up something where we can do an actual training session one-on-one where we're going to deal with your issues and of course answer questions that come up. But the 803-415-6970, guys, that's my cell number. Please shoot me a text, Wendy. Let me know how things are going, or if you have any questions, or you can email me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. And like I said, the QR code I put up there right now, thank you for the people that scanned it. That takes you directly to my Facebook page, my Back to Basics Facebook page. Please like or follow that. Any new information I put out there, like the videos I'm talking about doing, any new training things that I'm coming up with, this is where I'm going to put it. I will be putting it on Remember Me Rescues as well, of course. So guys, I really hope this information is helpful. I'm going to wrap it up for the night. It is almost 9 o'clock. I still need to eat din din. But of course, if you have a question, I will answer. Cindy, it was my absolute pleasure. Again, please share this information. Let's get hundreds of people on here every Tuesday evening. The more questions I get, the more questions I can answer, the more dogs we can help. Because truly, my ultimate goal in everything I do is what I just put up here now, that together we can help one dog and one family at a time. And I truly think we can do that, guys. But I need your help. Share this information. And let's get hundreds of viewers on here. If I have to dedicate 2 hours on a Tuesday night, that's fine by me. I can care less because I enjoy what I do. With that being said, guys, I am going to wrap it up for the evening. As you can hear, I'm kind of getting a little hoarse here. So we're going to wrap it up for the night. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to put them on. I look at them all the time. I'm on Facebook looking at the comments. You can always put your questions down later or email me or text me at the numbers I provided. With that being said, guys, thank you for inviting me to your homes each and every Tuesday evening. It is truly an honor and a privilege to bring this platform to you. I hope you get some valuable information out of it and you can help your furry family members. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.